The name of this particular type of astrology is Zue Doshu, which means Purple Emperor Fate Calculation System. To address, a lot of people think of fate as something predestined, and especially here in the West, we resist the idea that our lives are actually fated, possibly not in our control in many areas. We want to have agency and independence about our lives. So I want to talk about this just a little bit, the idea of fate in Chinese mantic arts, of which astrology is one, is that it's a component of the path of our lives, but it doesn't dictate to us everything that's going to happen in life. It's assumed that we also have a great deal of freedom. And the freedom comes from our character. Obviously, we have to make choices in life. The fate is more like a patterning that we're working with. It takes knowledge and it takes time in your life, and that's why longevity is so important in these Chinese arts. Yes. Actually, yes. Actually, that's called becoming an upright human or a true human. The word for that is Zhenren. So true human. That's a Taoist virtue. And that means the most in alignment with your true self that you can be. So when we come into life, it's assumed that most of us come into life kind of having forgotten the contract, and yet we hold pieces of it in our hearts. And so we go through life trying to recover that path that's really true for us. So the pole star, the Zue system, is a kind of code. I think of it as a code for what that true path is for each system, to remember the path that's truest for you. Okay, so that's how I like to use it. It's not a prediction system of, okay, you're going to marry twice, or you're going to take this kind of a job, or those kinds of things. Those are largely matters of applying your freedom in life. And the Chinese assume that responsible human beings are doing that. They're making the best choices they can. But the underlying, what we call fate or destiny, is much more a sense of how the qi flows in your life and how to move with the river rather than against the river. Right. The 12 animals are highly emblematic of the type of qi that that person tends to embody. Okay, so that's why it's really, and also the Chinese, all the Chinese mantic systems are correlative, meaning they have patterns that correlate or relate to other patterns, forming a system. Okay, so medicine is like that. It's like, to give you an example so you know what I'm talking about, Chinese medicine, the lungs correlate with the season of autumn. So the entire system of thinking is correlative like that. That's not true in Western thinking so much. Okay, so I think that in Chinese